Good afternoon, all. This is Pooja from Healthcare Sector Skill Council. So, on behalf of Healthcare Sector Skill Council, I welcome you all in today's webinar. So, first, I'll start with the introduction of Healthcare Sector Skill Council. So, we are basically working under the ambit of Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. HSSC is engaged in the development of quality ecosystem for education and skill development in the healthcare sector. In this regard, and with an objective to create awareness and sensitization of community and healthcare workforce about the different systems in healthcare practice which we are following in India nowadays, and building a platform for skilling by sharing best practices with the support of industry experts, we are organizing different webinars in every month to create the awareness and the sensitization among the people. Dr. Satya Lakshmi, Director NIN Pune, in today's webinar. So, first of all, thank you, ma'am, for accepting the invitation for today's expert session. So, in the profile of a ma'am, so ma'am is worked as a director of National Institute of Naturopathy. She is having 30 plus year of experience in clinical administration, academics, and research paper. She also worked as a chief editor in many of the publications, which is for the institutes, including the textbooks, monograph, and extra. And she also has an era of research publications to her credit. So thank you so much, ma'am, for accepting the invitation and provide your expert views in today's session. So our today's session is basically about the understanding of naturopathy. And as I see that we have a participants now, so we can start. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning to one and all. And today we are going to go through the philosophy and practice of naturopathy. So, shall I share the screen with the presentation? Yeah, can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Yes. So, one second. This thing there is some. Yeah. Yes, first of all, the philosophy of nature cure is based on the science dealing with life, death, and its disease, and then also cure. Otherwise, most of the think that naturopathy is just a system of medicine, but it deals with all other things also. It's like any other Indian systems of knowledge, it is a spiritual science. But in order to reach to that level, we have to deal with, help this cure and also understand the process of death also. So we are not averse to discussing all these matters and under the ambit of natural laws. So how these natural laws are discovered and rediscovered from time to time becomes the subject matter of naturopathy and or nature cure. So let's see what exactly is nature cure. It is a way of life, not a course of treatment. And this system of healing firmly believes that living body heals all by itself. And in other words, naturopathy is based on the recognition that body possesses a natural ability to resist disease, but inherently having mechanisms to recover itself when left alone. That means human body is a live machine. Any machine which is built by human beings uh, has certain limitations. Suppose the fan or our AC, if something goes wrong, someone need to come to fix it. But with regard to human body, if something goes wrong, and if you don't do anything also, most of the time it gets better all by itself. So that is the meaning what we mean when we use the word a living machine. So naturopathy is an ancient, non-invasive, rational system of healing that uses natural elements based on the theory of self-healing. And it is also based on the concepts of vitality and toxemia. We are going to deal with that a little later. Commonly in nature cure, disease is a deposition of foreign matter, which results in innervation. Innervation means the system which is connected to body organs through nerves get innervated. That is, it gets reduced. So because of the foreign matter, the presence of foreign matter means anything that is not needed by the body. We can use the word anya padarth. So it is not necessary to the body, becomes a burden on the body. So many of times, we think that whatever is good, we take excess. But even that good thing in excess can be a foreign matter, can be anya padarth. And that anya padarth will start tinkering with the system, and then it can make a body innervated. That means it can make body weak, and then the disease starts showing. So then that requires a little bit of treatment to remove this foreign matter. So the entire crux of naturopathy system, the treatments are based on this concept. That is, the body is full of foreign matter, and that foreign matter is creating a problem or disease, and then the treatment is completely aimed at removing this foreign matter. If we understand this, I think the tenet that we naturopaths most of the time talk about are, come in our next talk, part of the discussion. So one is, we have understood body heals itself, and the main cause of disease is innervation. Now, accumulation of morbid matter causes disease. Then comes the another tricky component is acute disease in itself is the remedial process. So we think diseases are problems that needs to be removed. But according to naturopathic understanding, all acute diseases are remedial measures. It's a nature's way of throwing this morbid matter from the system. So we will do little more detail about each point. Then germs do not cause disease, but are found in diseased condition. We think that very recently during COVID, we all thought that it is the virus that is coming from outside is causing the problem. If that is so, there were many people who were asymptomatic, and there were people with some symptoms, and there were some people with symptoms and then got admitted in hospitals, and there are some people who had symptoms of such a severity that they even passed away. So why so many levels of people with the same virus? So that means it is not the virus which is the cause. It is your own internal mechanism that is the cause. And then the germs do not cause disease, but then they are present in a diseased condition. I will little more detail when we discuss that point. Then food is the building material, but that does not increase vitality. People think that in order to get more vitality, we have to eat more or better foods. There is nothing better food actually. But food is a building material, but it does not increase vitality. We'll deal with that little later. Then fasting does not cure diseases, but provides an opportunity for the body to heal itself. As we have already realized that body has an innate capacity to heal itself. In order to make that body's capacity to work better, do fasting. People think that fasting itself will cure. No, fasting will make your body to cure itself. And then exercise or physical activity keeps the body balanced between nutrition and drainage. If you get nutrition from the food, it is if you are moving your body, if you are keeping your limbs, keep your hands and legs active, then your nutrition will get balanced. It's not nutrition alone should be balanced. It is your work that will balance your nutrition and also drainage. As I already mentioned earlier, anything excess can be toxic. So the drainage, how much should go out from the body, is again depends on our physical activity. Then patients must have own will. How much ever I want you to get better, you will not get better. You have to have your own will, determination, faith to undergo nature cure treatments, to understand nature and then own it up, and then believe in the nature's mechanisms is foremost important component in healing process. That is what we mean by these are 10 tenets which are considered basic to the understanding of naturopathy. So healing means it's not removal of disease, but then restoration to normal condition or make diseased body healthy. Every cell and tissue is endowed with vitality, endowed with preservation, and this vitality is the sole healer that is preserved. So cure does not come from outside, but cure comes from inside. This we have just now discussed also. Whatever comes from outside will only tranquilize. I mean, for some time it will it will suppress, or it may slightly take our attention to some other side, but it will not completely root out the disease. So what is vitality then? So vitality requires time and opportunity to make us normal and healthy. Health represents stored energy, not just of the body, but also of mind. Development of growth, repair, healing, and restoration. All these are vital processes that are accomplished by vital power. So here I would like to say that vitality is a kind of a given bank deposit to all of us at the time of birth. We have taken birth with certain amount of vitality, and all of us by nature are healthy, and health processes are inbuilt. So we have all come here to enjoy life, and disease process is transient. It comes and then it goes. It remains for a short period. But this vitality that all of us are endowed with at the time of birth, due to our various life activities, it gets depleted. We derive our energy, sustenance, vitality from this bank. But then again, due to body's restorative activities, this vitality gets filled. Say, for example, taking good amount of water, living close to nature, a good sleep, a good walk, a good talk, a prayer, a meditation, all these will restore our used up vitality. But if we are continuously using vitality and not restoring it, not allowing body to restore its vital capacity or vitality, then slowly over a period of time, our vitality gets depleted. That's when innervation occurs. We can have discussions. If you have any queries, you can raise your queries also. So how this healing happens, it's body's response to injuries and in its attempt to restore normal structure and function, or injury to cell or tissue sets in motion a series of events that contain a damage, or the damage that begins, it appears as beginning process of healing. So it involves two processes. One is regeneration, the other is repair. Sometimes a dead cell will be completely replaced, or a new cell is generated. So the repair is as important as regeneration. So these are the two processes that keep happening all the time in our body, which we call in physiology wear and tear. So this wear and tear process is natural to all of us, and we have it abundantly in our system. So then the second point in our 10 tenets is the main cause of disease is innervation. So with regular and constant nerve force that is required for the functioning of body's mechanisms. Say for example, even when we are sleeping, our lungs are functioning, our heart is functioning, our liver is functioning, all our internal systems, which we may not be supervising consciously, but they are functioning, and that requires some amount of nerve force. This nerve force gets depleted in when there is this anya padarth, when there is this a foreign matter in the body's parts. They get accumulated in the organs of the body. So when these organs are completely inundated with foreign matter, then the functioning gets impaired, and then that results in innervation. So it can even happen not only because of this foreign matter in physical form, it can even happen because of our thought processes and emotional activities also. So if you are constantly angry with something, if you are constantly reading only the negative aspects of life, say for example, if you constantly see TV, what happens? You're only seeing all bad things that are happening in the society, because only that makes us sit up and see. So people get innervated because of this kind of negative, constant negative system. So ultimately, it is going into the system. So we should be watchful of that also. See here, if you want to have the list of things that can innervate you, the causes of innervation is mental and psychological causes, sensory excess. It could be sight. I mean, seeing too much of things, and for that matter, TV and then mobiles, constantly things keep moving. And in nature, nothing moves that fast. And then also hearing too many sounds and too much of smells. And these days, in order to get away from the smells, which we consider bad, people start using too many, scents. All this can affect our nerves. And for taste, we add too many things and then eat food also in abundance. And of course, we are going to discuss more about food in detail. Then also the sensual gratification through various pleasures. It could be indulgence with regard to food and drink and clothing, or even sexual abuse. All this can have nerve leaks, and this can result in uh, innervation. So there are rest of the things are more or less speaking about the same thing. Then what actually causes the disease in the presence of morbid matter? So nature cure theory says that the deposits or restoration or metabolites, see, even metabolites means in our body constantly during this wear and tear, even if nothing is coming from outside, internally we develop our own toxins. So that also lead to innervation if it's not properly eliminated. So we have to keep our eliminative organs active. So in living body, two processes are in constant operation: the nutrition and the environmental material that is coming, and the process of rejection. So this grand function of nutrition and the repair, which helps in reproduction and repair, all these need a perfect synchrony. And any balance there can immediately result in some kind of dis-ease. So how this drainage, elimination happens? Drainage is happening through 4 mechanisms. One is we eliminate through our large intestines, we eliminate through our respiration, lungs, we eliminate through our kidneys, and we eliminate through our skin. So these are 4 eliminative organs which need to be constantly kept active. If they are not active for any reason, to that extent, the toxic load will increase in the system. Then the acute diseases, how they can be real. We thought in our earlier slide that all acute problems or acute conditions are remedial processes. How can they be remedial process? You mean to say disease is good for us? Yes, it is. In fact, every disease teaches us something. Vinoba Bhaveji used to tell that even after this disease, if you have not learned what went wrong, that means you are never going to become normal. So every disease teaches us that you are either burdened with certain things in the body, or your body is trying to eliminate violently. Why this violent nature has set in the body, we must understand. We must stop and then think what went wrong, and take it as a blessing. And even Hippocrates said that God give me fever, I can cure all diseases. So fever is a blessing. We should see it that way. We should not suppress it. We should, and then help this process to be complete, so that the elimination becomes complete. So every acute condition, it could be high fever, it could be cold, it could be cough, it could be pains, or some boils on the skin. All these are eliminative processes. Activate it, don't suppress it. Every suppression of acute disease will result in chronic condition. That is the term. What are chronic conditions? Where you cannot even treat them, you have to manage them. Now we know diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular problems, cancers, they're incurable. We think that we need to learn to manage them. Nobody is using the word cure them. Why not? We can cure them, provided we understand this process of nature, how it is working in ourselves. The same thing is continued here in all with regard to these acute conditions. We should understand fever is not a disease. It has beneficial effects. It has come to us to clean us. So keep it clean and encourage this disease process and never ever suppress. The fifth point is germs do not cause disease but are found in diseased condition. So all along we are thinking, and it is again the Western understanding that you get disease because of germs, but it is the other way around. We have to live with germs. Germs are going to be there with us and then without us. And we come in between and then we have to negotiate with these germs. The germs can be of varieties. There can be bacteria, there can be virus, there can be protozoal, parasitic, or all sorts of things are there in the universe. And we as human beings, and we learn to negotiate and then and deal with them. So killing them is not dealing. Every time we are killing with the newer drugs, and germs are becoming more and more resistant. They're becoming wiser. And we are becoming weaker. See the situation where we have come to. So much so that now Government of India has come up with the antimicrobial resistant program. Bacteria is becoming more and more resistant. They're becoming strong day by day. With every new drug, they're becoming even more stronger. So we are nowhere to kill them. And not only the germs are becoming stronger and making us more and more vulnerable. And with every new drug, more toxic, our system is getting more and more burdened with. So please try to understand that germs do not cause disease, and germs cannot thrive in every condition. Even if I want to grow tuberculous bacilli here on this table, I cannot grow. You need particular medium and temperature in order to make this tuberculous bacilli thrive and sustain. If we are providing all that congenial atmosphere inside the body, only then the bacteria grow. Same case with virus. So don't provide an atmosphere or a place for these bacteria to grow in your system. Keep it clean and healthy. They don't grow, they run away. So that's how we have to deal with these germs. Even if they're there in the body, they will not cause disease. And because we have n number of, in fact, 10% of our body is full of microbes. We have many more healthy microbes in our system. Our gut has trillions of microbes, and our skin has many microbes. And with all our detergents, with all our chemicals, with all kinds of foods and then cleaning material, we are killing them. The more we kill these useful bacteria, and the pathogenic bacteria gets more and more powerful. So with this understanding of germ theory, which earlier we thought that every disease is linked to one germ, and identify the germ and then hunt it and kill it, was once considered a right way of treatment. But it is no longer true. Even WHO has understood this pathway is no longer taking us to a real sense of health. So we should also discard it. Then our next point is food is the building material, but it does not increase vitality. This we have already understood. So people think that eat this, eat that, and this is good for us. So anything good we should have more. No, in nature, as it is available, we must have. If honey is scarcely available, we must have it very less. If dry fruits are less available, we should have very less. And what is not grown in and around us, we should not have. So our body is constantly adjusting with the environment around. Your genes, in fact, change themselves to meet the external conditions. So epigenetics is the current day study. That means your genes also, earlier we thought that genes once got, you're with that. Your fate is sealed. Kundali is complete. No, it is no longer considered true. You can even change the gene expression. That's the reason, although our parents are not diabetic, we are diabetic. It is happening. It's happening because we are changing that atmosphere around inside the body, that the gene expression is changing. So we can also change it for better. Do regular exercise, eat in moderation, fast once in a while. These are some of the healthy principles that we need to adopt. So the same case with many people have many questions about balanced diet, and then whether good food will increase our vitality, because people are seeing vitality to immunity. And thanks to COVID, biscuits, chocolates, even burgers, pizzas have come now. Vitality improving, I mean immunity boosting. There is nothing called that kind of vitality boosting foods or anything. Only help us in regeneration and restoration. And vitality comes from restoring. You can only go back to your vitality, what is already given to you. All of us are given certain amount of vitality. Then fasting, and as much is food important, fasting also is important. Continuously eat will not do any good. We have to give gap between meals. Now this gap, how much gap is what makes us understand the period of fasting. Fasting means there are n number of definitions that we can give, but then the simple and most easy way to understand is it is the total abstinence, voluntary abstinence of food. So to the extent that one can give rest to the body, not eating. At mental level, physical level, not only food means just food. It is the food to brain also is considered one type of fasting only. So rest and relaxation and not eating and giving gap between meals is considered fasting. That fasting gives many benefits, and for that matter, one Nobel Prize was given for the person who has understood the benefits of fasting for health, not only in regular health, even in cancer prevention and cure. So now fasting can be applied as a therapeutic tool. Now, this is what, there are so many benefits of fasting. It gives vital organs a complete rest, and it can remove fasting toxins from the body, and it helps elimination, and it also improves absorption. Absorption is more important than so people think that I have eaten this, I have taken that, body still. So it's not what you eat that matters. It is what you have really absorbed and assimilated and eliminated that matters. So it's fasting which will put this cycle in order. So diet pattern and nature cure. Nature cure food in three categories. One is eliminative diet, which helps in elimination, because elimination is key to health. And next is soothing diet. During convalescent period, I mean during recovery period, you can have soothing food, which is neither completely eliminative in nature, not completely constructive in nature. So that kind of easily agreeable, acceptable food should be given during convalescence. Then the constructive diet. When you're really healthy, you are allowed to eat constructive diet, which will give you strength. So this is three types of diet patterns in a naturopathy hospital. When one is admitted, they're either given eliminative diet in the morning, then soothing diet in the afternoon, or the other way, some afternoon maybe constructive diet, and then evening maybe soothing diet, and morning maybe eliminative diet. So it depends on their health condition and complaints, food choices that we. Then exercise, as earlier mentioned, exercise is such a vital, important component to the actual drainage process as well as the reconstructive processes. Both are activated with regular exercise. What happens when we exercise? What do we mean by exercise? Which body is normally doing, now you have to do it with an effort, with an extra pressure. That is what makes body gear up to the new challenge. So with regular exercise, with the additional amount of input and power that we use, it increases your strength, it gives you endurance, stamina, and also it helps in the process of elimination and also absorption. Hence, exercise is more important than food. If food alone will never give you needed energy. It is the energy that comes is from exercise. Without exercise, energy cannot come. So, for all our daily activities, we require energy. Energy comes from exercise. So exercise is considered very, very vital. And keep moving, be active. The same thing that we're discussing. And then the ninth point, again, very important, is in nature cure hospitals, you will see so many treatments, you see, and say it could be massage, it could be steam bath, it could be tub bath, hydrotherapy treatments, or it could be even some physiotherapy or exercise therapy or diet therapy. Why so many treatments are given? All these external treatments are only to give relief. The cure comes from within. Please bear it in mind. In any naturopathy doctor, if he's saying that I will cure you, please understand that he is also in the same method of the drug-based systems. In naturopathy, the cure comes from within. The treatments will only give you relief from the symptoms. That is what the basic tenets of naturopathy. So the final point, the last 10th point, it is the patient must have his own will, determination, and faith to undergo naturopathy treatment. If that person is not having faith and confidence and determination to undergo nature cure treatment, you bring your relative or you bring your sister or daughter or son or father or mother for the treatment, and then forcing them to take treatment, it will not work. It will work only when the patient himself want to get better through natural means. So so first convince them, make them understand. Only when they do it willingly, wantonly, with a lot of determination, any amount of my will not work on them. It has to be done by them. So there are no shortcuts to this. That's why naturopathy takes more time for people to understand and few people to practice. I think with this, we'll stop here and then we can have discussion. And I would like to say a few things about Mahatma Gandhi and nature cure in the end. If there are any queries, we can have and I think there are some in chat box. Are there any questions?
Hello, ma'am. I'm Dr.
Yes.
Srishti, and I am from Lucknow. I just wanted to know that how do we get to know that what is the balance? How much should we eat? Like everything is right. You were right in this sense that we should eat in balance. How do we understand our body that how much should we eat? Like someone says, if you go for Ayurveda, we say that if you have a pitta body, you take more of deshi ghee. So like, what is the quantity and how do we determine it? That how much should be taken? Thank
And
you.
that's a very interesting question. With regard to food, we always have this question because there is no limit to it, right? And it's always considered more the better, but it is just the opposite. And to tell you what Gandhiji said about this, uh, eat minimum, as minimum as you can, and if possible, err on the lower side. Use the word err on the lower side and fast once in a while. So, of course, it is very difficult to practice, but in general, and to go with the nature's dictum, eat when hungry. Wait till your hunger pangs, alert you. And that is the only dictum. And I would not say eat at 10 o'clock. If you get up at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock is not the right time. If you get up at 4 or 5 in the morning, maybe 10 o'clock brunch, breakfast come lunch is good enough. But if you're getting up late, then accordingly your time will change. So there is no common prescription that I can tell that for all of them, this is what is right. No, each person has to find one's way. That's why it's a highly individual specific. And the guiding principle is this: eat when hungry, and till such a time when you think, I'm full, stop one step before that. If you can still have one more morsel, stop there. And don't mix up things too many. Have diversity, but then in different meals. Don't mix water, don't mix raw and cooked, don't mix too many cereals. So have as natural as possible in its content, taste, smell, and have it. Yeah, enjoy food. One should enjoy food. Why not? The nature has given us, and it rebuilds us. Yeah, I think I have answered.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, one more question. That now in this, if we see the era, there is so much of food which we say it's contaminated with pesticides. Then this new concept of taking organic food, and people are saying that this fruit is organic, this dal is organic. Then how should we determine? Like, you don't know the purity. So is it like right? People say, put food in this sodium bicarbonate, the pesticides are removed. What should be done? Like, should we follow this, or should we leave it? Is it in excess? Because there has to be a balance in this also. The organic food is very costly. If you say that if you have this bottle gourd for 30, it will be for 50 or 70 rupees if you say it's organic. So what should be followed in this condition?
Yes, Srishti, I understand your anguish, and we are also facing the same issue. But then the markets are demand driven, and if we are all really health seeking people, and health cannot be found in isolation. You and I alone cannot be healthy, and the pandemic also taught us we as a community should be healthy. So communities, we should go to people and then educate them, and this has to be a movement. And we should know from which source food is coming. So we should not say just seeing the label, buying organic foods. Instead, try to know the farmers and grow certain things in your own backyard, even in your balcony. Put some pots and then some greens you can grow, and then you will understand the processes, growth processes. And most of the cereals, particularly millets, they're by default organic. And there are many things still by default organic. We unnecessarily get caught in the labels. Please eat any food in its natural flavor and taste, and it can be natural. And some amount of residue and all that your body can handle with, so long as you are eating in its natural form. But if you are eating too many canned foods and then processed foods and then packeted foods, no amount of organic food is going to do a good job. And then fast once in a while to keep your eliminative process active.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, any
Yeah,
more?
thank you so much for such a knowledgeable session, ma'am. Anybody has any other questions?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you
Hello.
once again, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, sorry. This is Dr. Chandan here. I'm, getting in touch with you from Oman. It's pretty generic question. Nowadays, if you look at the kids, school-going kids, let's say from an age group of 6 to 14 or 6 to 15, they are falling sick quite often. I'll give you an instance. About a month ago, I had a friend of mine who said he had taken his kids to the doctor. And he did tell the doctor, ma'am, every month and a half, I'm getting my kids here. They are getting affected with cold and flu. It gets keep transferring between the kids in the school, in the play areas. And the doctor answered him back saying, you're lucky that you're coming once in a month and a half. I'm seeing patients every 15 days. Okay. So now in this kind of a situation where people go from allopathy to Ayurveda to homeopathy to whatnot, trying and testing everything and then Googling themselves. And end of the day, it's the kids whose health is getting hampered. And there is no, how do I say, kind of immunity in place for the kids compared to 10 years ago or 20 years ago generations. The food today, like one of the colleagues here was mentioning, it's adulterated or, there are pesticides. Ways of treating food is different. And then there are packaged foods, then there are processed foods. And over and above all this, you keep on giving doses of medicines and antibiotics. How do we come out of this situation and give them a healthy life, healthy food and build up their immunity?
Yeah, that's again quite a revealing thing. Actually, it's kids, as they grow, they fall sick. And earlier parents, they were not worried. They were not going to run into doctors or rushing to doctors. If there are here and there some adjustments, that is happening as you grow, that should be understood and then handled at that. Why rush to doctors? Every fever need not be addressed by doctors. Every flu, every cold, for small things. So much so that there was recently one obstetrician, she was saying that when child is crying, the mothers, are not knowing whether the pain is, the child is crying for food or due to colicky pain. To that extent, we have desensitized ourselves. So let's sensitize ourselves and don't get panic with the, children, because they're exposed to world outside and environment, and then they move here and there, they may get hurt. Let it be. You be with them. And this kind of thing, what we must understand for this, that is exactly what Gandhiji said. When patient comes to you with pain, as a doctor, what is your duty? To remove pain? That's what we all assume. But he said, no, it is not doctor's job to remove pain. Then what should doctor do? Doctor should remain with patient and support them during this pain, support them to endure this pain, be with them. And the doctor's duty is to understand what caused the pain and make them understand so that they will not commit the same mistake again and then come with the same pain again. Now, what we are doing, when patient comes with pain, we suppress it by giving some medicine. Then what happens? The pain comes down. The chances are that they indulge in the same thing again. And then next time they don't even go to doctor and they take the medicine. And with that, what is happening? Innervation occurs. And not only innervation, you become mentally also weak. You end up doing the same mistake again and again in spite of knowing that it causes pain. because there is a medicine with you. This exactly is happening with us, and bringing up children is also it has become now highly individual specific. Nuclear families, children are not exposed to this wisdom that has come to us from our parents and forefathers, that this is part of life. Live with it, negotiate with it. Don't run to doctors and then medicines. Don't try to fight. I think that is the message we naturopaths will try and understand. And children falling sick is not unnatural. It is natural. And it's good to fall sick so that they understand. Make them understand. And do we have that much time with our children? Is our parenting in the right direction? I think these are some of the questions we must understand. But thanks for bringing this up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, shall I now quickly sum up what Gandhiji was to say about nature cure, and then our time is also up. Mahatma Gandhi, all along his life practiced nature cure, although it was less talked about in public. Gandhiji wanted to be a doctor all through, but his brother convinced him to do law. Otherwise, in his first visit to London itself, he wanted to register for medical course, but he finally landed up with doing law. But later, when he went to South Africa, he did a nursing course. This also is less talked about. We should be knowing about this. Then when he found this, and he formed a small group, then he created this symbol also. This we are using it for victory these days, but this meant for volunteerism. So his volunteers, the brigade of volunteers, they would go help people, whether they are boer victims or plague victims. These people with the poultices and the cold packs and naturopathy enema cans and all, they would go and help these people get rid of their health conditions. So Mahatma Gandhi practiced naturopathy on his wife, children, and people who are coming to his ashrams, and on himself, more importantly, on everyday basis. Recently, in 150 years of Mahatma Gandhi observation across the country, ICMR came up with a book on Mahatma Gandhi, wherein with how many diseases he suffered, but in all these health conditions, he practiced naturopathy. And his BP was very high. It was somewhere around 200 by 110, 120. And his doctor, Dr. Sushila Nair, she was getting jittery, but it did not unnerve Mahatma Gandhi or changed his path from naturopathy to any other system. He stayed put with naturopathy, and with the methods of nature cure, he cured himself, putting poultices on his head and on cold pack on his tummy, and he was conducting his activities and sleeping only 3-4 hours a day. He was managing all his work, and morning evening walks and his prayers, and then doing things selflessly to people, and nurturing love towards other human beings and also fellow beings. What makes one healthy? Health should not be seen as a product, but it should be seen as a byproduct of all our activities. With this message, Gandhiji wanted to dedicate his life by taking this science to every doorstep of this country. He believed that by attaining freedom, we may get political freedom to the suffering millions. So how do they get real freedom? So for that, he thought that naturopathy is only science which will make people self-health reliant. So long as you don't become self-health reliant, you will never become self-reliant. So with this message, he said, Swavalambana ke liye swasthavalambana chahiye. And that comes only from practicing nature cure. And with this, he founded one trust that is known as All India Nature Cure Foundation Trust. He registered it on November 18, 1945, much before we attained the freedom of this country. And the only aim of this trust was to get naturopathy to every person of this country, and to make a National Institute of Naturopathy, which is now located in Pune, to be made a university, so that people from all walks of life, from all over the world, come and learn this science of healing, so that people can avoid doctors, drugs, and hospitals altogether, become self-health responsible citizens. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share some of the nuances of naturopathy. Thank you, Health Sector Skill Council of India, to create this platform.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for such a knowledgeable session.
It's my pleasure. Can I log out now?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. It was really a very informative lecture. Thank you so much.